But Kang the Conqueror, what he was supposed to be was as someone that came back in time from the year, like I think 3 or 4,000 something.
Huh.
And funny enough, in terms of the background, he was a direct descendant of Reed Richards and Susan Storm.
That would have been an interesting way to like implement something like, you know, Franklin Richards or Doctor Doom.
Yeah.
Why they could never get Fantastic Four right?
You know, considering how the MCU is and how they've kind of been wasting a lot of...
Could they do any worse than what's been done, though?
Considering how much they have in the pipeline and how little quality control they have, I'm not really feeling it.
Would it be worse, though? That's what I'm asking. Would it be worse than what we've had?
Yeah.
I feel like it'd be pretty hard to get worse.
You'd be surprised.
Yeah.
Again, I didn't hate the original fan. I didn't hate the 2000.
Then again, what kind of fan are you, MJ?
I don't know. I mean,
look on the screen. Prime example.
That's true. I think the reason why with the stuff with the because like I said, with Marvel and DC, it's like I've never really been to the comics. I've mostly just been absorbing through like movies and stuff.
Yeah.
So it's kind of difficult for me to gauge like how I would really feel about this
the
series.
comics, I know like Fantastic Four is supposed to be like one of the most well-respected like comic series they have.
It was the first.
It was like one of Steve. No, not. The hell is his name? Okay, let me stop for a second. Just
Stanley.
Stanley, thank you.
There.
My brain's all over.
God damn it, Steve.
God damn it.
God damn it, Steve! You'll never be Steve. But yeah, jokes aside, it's one of Stanley's babies, along with Spider-Man.
Yeah. Especially, I mean, there's a reason why Fantastic Four is, like, when it comes to any interpretations of it, that's why a lot of people get more upset about it. Not only just because it was one of the first, like, things that Marvel created, it's also, quote-unquote, the first, they've been nicknamed the first family for a reason.
Yeah. They have, despite what media and whatever is held, like, in the comic circles, Fantastic Four is, like, one of the original, like, group ensemble teams.
Yeah, I figured. It's just weird. They managed to get it wrong so many times now.
Because they never got the right people to actually work on it.
Yeah.
What, you didn't like Fantastic? Oh. Can we debate that as the worst superhero movie?
Yeah, there's worse.
Oh,
There's
probably.
worse superhero movies.
Oh, right! The one we don't talk about. That kind of ruined some woman's career for a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I wouldn't say ruined her career, but it definitely marred.
It marred her career, to say the least.
Definitely.
Got an Emmy and a Raspberry the same fucking year.
Yep.
That is kind of funny.
Yep.
It's like how great an actress she is, but how bad that movie was. That is probably the worst.
Nah, I'm trying to think about other bad ones.
Ooh, is Fantastic worse than Batman and Robin?
I would argue so, just because with Batman and Robin,
It's at least entertaining.
Batman and Robin is hilarious because of how bad it is. Fantastic is just boring.
It's just garbage.
It's just dull, and that can be worse when you're bad. Because like, when you're bad but boring, you get grating. It's just like it feels like it takes an eternity. When you're like so bad and over the top. Like, Batman and Robin is, like, over-the-top bad, where it's, like, so bad it's hilarious to laugh at.
Yes.
Now I thought the next level. Is it as bad as Superman 4, The Quest for Peace?
You know, I haven't seen Superman 4 Quest for Peace.
That's another one that can be so bad it's funny, but it's also, like, so bad it's, like, one of those, like, almost irredeemable.
Yeah.
That's a tough one.
I haven't seen it, so no opinion.
It's definitely one of those things, it depends on the person you ask, but...
Where do you stand, I guess is a better question.
Oh, it's definitely bad. Especially, okay, now, if we're talking in terms of strictly the plot and at least the action sequences, yeah, it's just a boring bad. But if you want to go for the special effects side of things,
That's really bad.
it's laughably bad. Where they reuse I'm not even kidding, they reused the same...
Is that the one with the meme in with Superman in space template or whatever.
Yeah, where they reused the same flight scene so many different times.
Yeah, that's what I was wondering, because I remember seeing like a meme of, and using like one of the classic Superman movies for it, and it's like a particular scene of Superman in space. It's like, is it from that one?
Yep. Yep, Superman did fight Nuclear Man, which is completely original to that movie, by the way.
Oh god.
Yeah, I remember that.
In space!
That sounds like it could be a decent idea for a Superman villain.
Yeah.
It is a good idea.
Like a straight up clone of Superman? Hell yeah.
But that movie probably did not do it well at all.
No.
Execution is a whole different can of worms.
Alright, so probably not as bad as Superman 4, but probably the worst since then. Got it.
Yes.
Or Catwoman. Probably the trio of the worst three.
Yeah, which, you know,
Let's think about other superhero movies that are just like or whatever, or probably could be
For the Dark World!
you know, rewatching that movie, I didn't think it was as bad as people made it out to be.
I just found it incredibly boring because it just felt like there was a whole lot of nothing going on.
More so because of the villain was just forgettable.
Yeah, that too. It just felt like there was just nothing going on in that movie.
Like, the main takeaway, I feel, for that movie was the scenes that you had for, more so with Thor's mother.
No, don't go back in there! Or lay on the ground outside the building.
I forgot about that. That was my bad. But it's more so the scenes with Thor's mother. Because that was the main takeaway, and just how both Thor and Loki respectively reacted in those moments.
There was two things that took away
Makes
from
it feel like that's something they tried to
Well,
correct.
that and I guess the
reality stone existence.
I was saying, it feels like something they tried to somewhat correct in Endgame. Give
Yeah.
her more screen
It's a different.
time.
Yeah, they wanted to give her more screen time, but that was more for. I mean, I've heard a lot of arguments for how certain characters were executed as kind of criticism for Endgame. Specifically, Thor and Hulk were the ones that are kind of like the culprits of.
They just turned Thor to a joke.
Yeah.
And
And
it got old after a while.
Especially considering they were trying to like emphasize what's her face more. Valkyrie, I think is her name.
Yeah, Valkyrie.
It's like I like her, don't get me wrong, but the way they handle it in Endgame was kind of annoying. Ragnarok was, I think, was fine.
Yeah.
Endgame, on the other hand, they kind of overdid it.
Like, I was fine with Thor a little bit for like the first couple scenes he was in an Endgame. And then he just kept coming back and he just kept doing the same thing. I was like, oh god,
But here's
alright.
the thing, in Ragnarok, I think it makes sense
Well, yeah.
because it would just seem like a nice transition.
Uh-huh.
And then you get to not Ragnarok, but
Endgame.
no, Infinity War.
Infinity
Oh.
War, okay.
Where he's just like, first he's like, alright, he's done his like little arc thing, and he goes, grabs the whatever it is.
Oh yeah.
It's called like the true. I forget what they call it.
Not
Fat
True
Hammer,
Mjolnir or something.
True Mjolnir or something. I think it was.
Mjolnir. Well, oh, you're talking about the new weapon he gets?
The new weapon he gets for it.
Infinity War,
Stormbreaker.
Stormbreaker.
Oh, that's it.
Yeah, I'm like, what? Yeah, because he gets that, and
Which is forged by a dwarf played by Peter Dinklage.
yeah.
Yes.
And it's like, alright, so maybe just like it's more serious or whatever, but it's like I can understand like him being a little bit shaken up, but for him to like not lead his people after everything that happened from Ragnarok and Infinity War just doesn't make a lot of sense.
Well, I would argue that more so, like, it's more justifiable at least in Infinity War, considering he outright witnessed the big bad essentially kill, like, his brother right in front of him.
Yeah. So I can understand like him being super serious and all that, but
And all of, like, his other, like, Asgardians. Like, yeah, like, as far as he knew, he was basically one of the last two alive, period,
yeah.
of his entire, like, race.
I think it's just because the transition makes sense, but when you see it so much, it kind of just feels grating. I guess is what it is.
Yeah, I can see that.
Because it's like he's just this big bum the entire time.
Yeah, that's what annoyed me about
Yeah.
Endgame. Like,
Yeah,
first scene I got it, and then it just kept happening in his interaction with the Guardians of the Galaxy. I just got a little tired of it after a while. I was like, alright.
It's like, it's all the male characters too that kind of get, well, okay, it's more so with Thor and Hulk that have it the worst. Iron Man and
Oh,
Captain-
Hulk, I did not like what they did to his character in that movie. It's like, they just sidelined him entirely.
Yeah.
Like, Jesus. Like
They never do Hulk right.
It's like someone they kind of had an arc for, but it wasn't really great.
It's like
And really, She-Hulk made it worse.
She-Hulk is just.
I will always defend how they basically kind of shafted Hulk in Infinity War, given the context.
Yes.
In Infinity War, it's fine. I can understand
because
that.
it's like the Hulk and Beast is actually fucking afraid of someone.
But then Endgame is like, I'm just a blend of both now. Like, but I don't actually fight. Like, what the?
That's
what
not
the fuck
how
is
it
this?
works.
Yeah, like, this is stupid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then there's Phase 4, which is a whole other can of
That's a
worms.
whole nother argument.
Yeah, that's just all together. But yeah, it's like, that's just, like, Thor and Hulk have the worst. Because, like, Iron Man was fine, Captain America was fine.
Yep.
Hawkeye, I really like what they did with him.
Black Widow
See,
didn't really earn time to shine until after Endgame.
yep. I mean, if they wanted
The
to...
Black Widow movie is okay.
Black Widow movie was okay, but it
It
just
came
felt like,
out at the wrong time.
in terms of the
Yeah.
timing, I feel it would just.
They all wanted to set. They did it to more set up a new Black Widow.
Yep. It was more of a backdoor pilot for the Dark Avengers version of Black Widow. Yes, seriously, that is what it's called.
Dark and Avengers, huh?
Yeah, the Dark Avengers.
Okay.
Well, I just thought it was more specifically as, like, they weren't going to let Black Widow have the movie run because of someone else.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Another Marvel, to say the least.
Ha.
God damn it. Part of me keeps feeling like the Eternals came out already. It didn't yet, did it?
It did.
Oh, it did?
And
Are they doing another movie or something? I feel like I'm hearing more about it. Out of nowhere.
I haven't heard anything about the Eternals.
you're not missing much with that first movie, honestly.
Yeah, I don't
Let's
feel
put it
there's
this
enough.
way, it's like, you like a movie starring 8 characters that don't get enough screen time to be developed at all?
Oh, do I ever? Not.
I love the Angelina Jolie.
Don't get me wrong, the actors that they got, they were
got good actors.
they were
it's just,
good actors, and it just.
The thing is like they got good actors, but they just didn't get the right person or the right direction to get them to do anything. Like, so many people would argue that it would have been better off being a TV series just so that they had more time to develop each of the characters individually.
Yeah.
Because, like, when you get a movie to try and star 8 characters,
Oh no!
they don't even get any time to, like, be together so that they can kind of be developed. I don't remember. Oh, wait, I was gonna say, like, what was the jet fuel?
Like, not to mention also, if you think about it this way, it, like, just because of just how fast they were just going through everything with the Eternals movie, it just felt like nothing was properly, like, developed. Like, what was the conflict that split them all up to begin with? Like, what was, like what's all this bullshit that they are, like, I mean, oh, the explanation in the throwaway line, mind you, where they're like, oh, well, why didn't you help when Thanos was coming out? Which, yeah, I'm pretty sure that was the biggest question that people had.
Yeah.
Speaking of underdeveloped characters, Captain Marvel.
That was the joke that I made with her.
That was the joke you literally just made.
Yep.
Yeah, but
Yep.
that's why I
Just
brought
clicked
it
with
up.
me. Yep. Like Jesus. This was one of the big centerpieces.
She's the centerpiece, and the entire gist of her character is literally she's a she-boss. That's it.
Yeah.
And it's just kind of...
That's where her character, the way they introduced it, made it feel like they're starting to have a bit of an agenda with the movies. Like, like, I don't have a problem with strong female characters, not at all. But the way they did Captain Marvel, that was weird.
Okay then.
Thanks, Sonic Origins. But yeah, just the way they did Captain Marvel and like all the other female characters because of her, especially in Endgame. Oh god.
And that's the big thing about Phase 4 that kind of just made me just give up on it.
Well, She-Hulk might be the epitome of it.
Yeah, like, Captain Marvel was, like, the first real seed that started, and, like, I had a little bit of interest, just mostly, but that was mostly thanks to, No Way Home, but that had less to do with, everything else that was going on in Marvel, that was more for Spider-Man than anything else.
Mm-hmm.
Which is why it probably worked out as well as it did.
Yeah.
Didn't say the Venom movie for it, though.
I mean, they didn't do a lot for like all of the MCU, but it was a good Spider-Man story, I felt like.
And it was, like, the most complete Spider-Man experience you probably ever get, especially if you've gone as far as to see both the Tobey Maguire movies and the Andrew Garfield movies.
Yeah, the Sam Raimi trilogy and the Mark Webb duology?
Yeah, duology.
Yeah.
Is it Mark Webb?
Oh no!
Yeah, Mark Webb was the director, I believe.
Yeah. Although thanks to that movie, it was the first time that got me motivated, got me to actually sit down and watch The Amazing Spider-Man. And I'll say,
First one's not bad.
Andrew Garfield's a good Spider-Man.
Uh-huh.
It's just everything else around it. And from what I heard about the second movie, Andrew Garfield and Emma Watson are both good. It's just
Everything else.
Emma Stone.
Emma Stone.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
It's an Emma.
Emma Watson, that's Hermione from Harry Potter,
Yeah,
right?
Yep.
Okay, just making sure I was getting that right.
Yep.
Yeah, like, thank you
And
for
it's like,
correcting me.
they're both named Emma. Close enough.
It's an Emma. That's all I got. Emma Watson had a part in a movie that had a different set of problems.
Yeah.
But that's a different can of worms altogether, and I'm not
I
going
think I heard they're trying to reboot Harry Potter as a
Yeah.
TV series
Yeah.
now, which honestly could probably work better, but
Especially, it'll give certain content more time to actually be
Depends.
fleshed
Are they
out.
still working with what's her face, J.K. Rowling?
I mean, considering she is the creator and
I think so.
mostly the sole IP owner,
Yeah. When I say, like, for as much crap as people want to give her, it's like she is the creator of the series. So if anyone would know better, it'd probably be her.
it would be her,
Just try
but
to keep her personal beliefs out of it. That's
Yeah.
all.
Yeah.
Just try to ignore that. That'd be like me hating Nintendo after I learned that Shigeru Miyamoto hated the Chinese.
yeah.
This sounds really fucking weird.
It's just people digging in for anything that they can.
Ah!
I don't know. It's just. I guess that's just the advent of social media. I guess.
Yeah.
Oh god, right
Like,
with
you know
this!
what-
Oh fuck!
Yep, big arms.
Oh, yay.
It's just the thing is just learn how to keep your personal and professional matters separate. That's
Yep.
all I'll say.
And we gotta jump into his face.
Shit.
You gotta jump into his face and avoid the arms.
Yep,
Okay.
big arms.
I will do one more attempt, and then after that, fuck it.
Yep, for those of you that haven't seen us play through frickin' the Sonic and, well, for those of you who haven't watched Coda's playthrough, if you're watching the co-op channel, I have to keep bringing this up. Go watch on Coda's channel already if you haven't, you fucking morons.
Yeah, what the hell are you doing here?
Well, yeah, in the Origin Sport, they decided to include a boss that's normally the end of only original Sonic 3 for all the playthroughs of Origins. It just feels right.
Well,
I do like that they included it, but on the other hand, god damn it can be brutal.
oh
No one just dies so you get a ring.
no. I'll see how far I can get with it.
The first phase is honestly hard. Big Arms himself is actually not that bad once you realize what you're doing. The first phase is just really annoying. He's got to keep hitting Eggman and just dodge this freaking electric shield thing he's got going around him.
Yeah, I will say this. I think after this is probably good to sleep break, right?
Yep.
Yeah, this would be the end of the Sonic 3 portion, right?
Yep.
Oh no. Yeah. You know, almost 2.5 hours.
Yeah.
Hey, we've been able to keep a 2.5-hour session going. Now let's hear it for us. Yeah.
Yeah. They kept ourselves entertained somehow.
Wait, speaking of Sonic, I learned apparently, you know about how disappointing Sonic Dark Brotherhood was, right?
Yes.
Yes.
You know, apparently they were setting up for a sequel.
Yes.
Okay.
They cliffhanger that
They
never
left
got
on a
resolved.
cliffhanger that never got
Resolved.
resolved. Yeah.
Basically, the whole idea of the sequel is basically going to be like Sonic and friends having to go through the world that was created because Eggman succeeded or whatever at the end of the first game, and basically trying to stop it.
It's like that sounds great. Just a shame that the first game was so boring and dull that nobody wanted to be asked to see it through. And they got the BioWare, not even the BioWare B team, probably the BioWare Z team,
Okay.
Jesus.
to work on the game.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want to sound like an asshole when I say that, but for a game that's not as that's as middling as Dark Brotherhood is, it's kind of hard for me to be
Because the idea of a Sonic RPG isn't a bad one.
like, because I mean, you want to sit here, it's like, well, Sonic could never be an RPG. Well, tell that to fucking Mario
Yeah.
or other series that have.
Mario has some of those beloved RPGs for some
Yeah,
people.
I'm gonna talk about
Some people claim Super Mario RPG is the greatest RPG of all time.
I don't agree with them, but you know.
I don't either.
That's those your door. I won't agree that far, but it's my favorite of them. You know, I say the best RPG of all time is still Chrono Trigger, but hey.
Oh, I mean, I'm warming up more towards me saying Xenoblade.
Xenoblade 3 is very good.
I've also started to warm up a lot more towards Xenoblade. Well, Xenoblade
Final
6 as a
Fantasy
whole.
7.
I've also warmed up a lot more to Xenoblade 2 as well, and I'm starting to think
I know why you said that, MJ, you motherfucker.
I'm also warming up more to Xenoblade 2 as well. More.
Yeah.
I know, like, the first half is really difficult to sit through because of how hard they go into tropes.
Yeah, it's really tropey in the beginning half. Like, once you get to, like...
It's like chapter 5, I think.
Something like that.
Once Rex realizes, like, what he has to do, it gets a lot better.
It just takes a long time for the rug to be pulled under, but when it does, it feels really good. All of the things happen. So,
Yeah.
like I said, I'm warming up to Xenoblade 2 more over the years, and part of me is debating if I like it more than the first game.
My favorite story is still the first game, in all fairness. Gameplay-wise, not my favorite. I don't know, I just like the overall story of the first game. This feels like...
It's very straight to the point.
Yeah, it has enough twists to keep you in surprise. Where the second and third don't really do a lot of the surprise twists like that. 3 does, kind of.
3 does kind of, but
2 really doesn't.
a lot of the twisting really boils down to how far they lean on the tropes.
Yeah, honestly, the bigger twists are more the characters themselves for 2 than anything with the story.
That's probably the reason why I like warming up to it more, is because I prefer more character-driven stuff as opposed to just...
The Nia twist was pretty good for me. I was just like, oh shit!
Yep. Because I prefer... Like, my stories have interesting characters I'm willing to see it through. You just give me an interesting world, but without really good characters to really wrap my head around, it's kind of hard for me to really...
Oh no!
That's kind of how my brain wraps around it. Give me interesting characters, and I'll... Like, it can be the most generic world and story, but if the characters are interesting, then I'll see it through to the end. It's probably the reason why Xenoblade 2 clicks with me a lot more now than it did before.
I get that, yeah.
Because when you just give me an interesting world and story, but the characters themselves aren't super interesting, it's like... It's kind of hard for me to see it through.
I may replay the first 2 again.
I need to get the definitive edition for Switch.
Yeah, I
again,
thought
like-
about it. If I get a game voucher, I might just use one on that.
Yeah.
Or just wait for a sale and get it for like 40 bucks. Scooter, what's your favorite RPG? Dream Drop Distance!
Kingdom Hearts 2, clearly.
Yeah, it's probably up there, honestly.
Yeah, I say it as like a half joke, because as crazy as things get in that game,
Okay, because I would have to actually break it down like this.
I have a nostalgia for it a little bit too, but still.
I would have to break it down like this, though. If we're strictly talking like, okay, if we had to break it down by the types of RPGs, so like traditional, like turn-based, action,
tactics as well, I guess.
tactical, I would say my favorite turn-based RPG, MJ could probably actually tell you what this one was.
Final Fantasy 9?
Yep.
I know that because you and I both share the similar opinion that Final Fantasy 9 is the best one.
Wow, I was gonna be wrong.
What?
I'm not saying the original Paper Mario. What the fuck's wrong with me? That was a good one though.
Yeah.
Final Fantasy 9 is definitely a good pick for Mario.
But yeah, action RPG. Do I really need to say it?
Kingdom Hearts 1, clearly.
No, in terms of story, yes. In terms of gameplay, I would have to definitely say
2.
the 2, yes.
What about 3?
3 has different quirks about it.
3,
Alright, the gameplay is pretty good though.
gameplay-wise,
Gameplay is great,
It's really great. Not as good as, it's not as refined as 2, I think.
Yeah, that's
But
what
it
I
is,
thought.
the break
it
is
is
the problem.
damn close.
I would say it's like the best since 2 though.
Yeah.
Yes.
What was the best before in between those? Birth by Sleep or Dream Drop Distance? Birth by Sleep?
In terms of
Depends on who you ask.
yeah, it depends on who you ask.
Somewhat.
I would argue in terms of strictly gameplay, I would
Oh god.
I would
Don't
argue
get
Dream Drop
hard.
Distance. But that requires me to go through the bullshit that is the story again, and
I think
I
you
don't
have
feel
to be
like
at the bottom like this.
We're not ready for that yet.
No. But Birth by Sleep, I would argue, if you can get past some of the slog in the beginning, it really is.
Oh!
It really is fun, especially how easy it is to break the game
Yeah, that's what I heard about Birth by Sleep, is that it's easy to break when you know what you're doing.
when you know certain combinations for a certain mechanic that's in that game, and we'll get to that.
That also includes Dream Drop Distance as well, because it shares similar mechanics.
Yeah. Not as refined as not as like expansive as Birth by Sleep, I would say.
It's a little simpler, but possibly for the better Dream Drop Distance.
Yes.
Okay.
Kind of.
Get there when we get there. Got it.
I'm trying to remember how you got that loop with the freaking.
Looks like you just gotta find a sweet spot.
There's a sweet spot what you can do with the tails that I'm trying to figure out.
I can't offer much advice. I'm used to doing this with Sonic all the fucking time. I've only done the whole Tails playthrough myself like once, ever. I usually just try to play them like Sonic, so I never really thought about any of his special abilities. Now, control your momentum.
Yeah, it's like every Sonic game. All about momentum.
And I have momentum.
There are so many different kinds of RPGs. Strategy RPG, I don't know if I have one. There are a lot of different crazy strategy RPGs. There we go.
Yeah.
Tire them out and just fucking throw them in them.
Tactical RPGs, I guess by technicality, because it's really the only one I've really played, for the most part, I would have to say Mario plus Rabbids.
That is
Oh, yeah.
true. That is
Those
actually
were good ones, yeah.
That is actually
I
legit.
am still working on Sparks of Hope, that's right. I am happy to see Rayman back that DLC, though.
Yeah,
I get to pick that game up, though.
my brother has Sparks of Hope right now, so I
I
can't
still have
say
to go for the
that.
first game fully.
Sparks of Hope is a little more about the world exploration than the actual battles. The battles are easier. I don't mind them.
Yeah.
I guess I probably.
Although, the thing is, the only thing that stinks about friggin' Mario plus Rabbids Sparks of Hope, there's definitely an ideal team build. Like, there's definitely 3 characters you absolutely want to use, because they're, like, great for everything. Rabbid Peach being the absolute dominant one, because she's the healer.
Of course.
And she's a weapon that gets around cover! I think the other 2 usually people say are Luigi, because he can snipe, and he's stronger the further away he is.
Well, yes.
And Rabbid Mario, because he can punch through cover, and he can just... His attack's basically AoE.
Ah.
Yeah, which
But he has to get up close and personal.
thank God that they actually let you actually choose your team. Because
Instead of it being just Mario plus 3 others.
Specifically the rabbit, because they knew nobody wanted to use the rabbit when they first played
no,
the
it
game.
was Mario and 2 others. Like you still had a team. Of
Okay,
three.
yeah, it was Team of 3, right.
It was
I thought
still
it was Team of 4 for some
it
reason.
was still a team of 3, but you were locked to Mario.
Yeah.
That was the one thing I could not stand.
It's weird. I don't even use
Like
that.
it made sense for the context of the story, but it was just like one of those things. It's like if I'm doing the extra missions on said map, why am I still locked to him?
Yeah.
I always remember that the thing is you're locked to Mario, but you're also locked to having to use one rabbit.
Also,
Yeah, that
also
is
something
true.
that appreciates that completionists may appreciate. Remember all those missions you had to do for every battle in Mario + Rabbids Kingdom Battle?
Yep.
They don't have those anymore.
Oh, thank God.
You just have to do the battles to get through them.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank God.
Yeah, they don't have you having to like get through
I also
under certain
remember-
turns, or using a certain character or some shit like that.
Yeah, I also remember doing that stupid thing of, here, congratulations, you got the best rank in the frigging bonus challenge. By the way, here's an ultimate weapon for that you'll never be able to use since you basically beat the entire game.
Yeah, it's more about the overall core game and exploration rather than like actual like testing your abilities. So some of the hardcore people probably don't like
God
it as
damn
much,
it.
but I do think it's more approachable. I do like it a little better in that
I
regard.
hate when he goes up there and it's like, yeah, you're not gonna hit me right now.
He does have the 2 sweeps every time. Like, his pattern is extremely predictable. You just gotta realize the pattern.
I know, it's just
Yeah.
annoying when it's just
And
like,
my ideal team's different from everybody else's. I still use Rabbid Peach for the course healing. I use Peach because she can use an ability basically.
fuck.
Oh, good. You guys can take 2 or 3 hits before you take damage for a turn.
Yeah.
And Mario because he's similar to Luigi except he doesn't have quite the range, but he has 2 shots.
Okay.
I've known most builds, you definitely want somebody who has an AoE, which Peach and Rabbid Mario both have. Somebody who can easily shoot people for good damage, which Luigi or Mario tend to do, and Rabbid Peach. Because healing.
Yes. You always want a healer on any team.
Healers are like universal law number 1. You always have one.
I think last I played, I like just got to the point where I got Bowser on my team. He has an AoE attack too, but it's more of an explosive one, so it can be harmful, but
Okay.
Does it hurt everybody else, I'm guessing?
I think. I've never tried to get up close to the point where I can hurt Bowser or anybody else.
And with that, we've beaten Sonic 3, ladies and gentlemen.
Woo! As Tails.
Yep.
Yep.
By the way, I mean, technically it's he, but I... You know what? Redundancy.
I did a special stage, you did a boss. I did 2 bosses technically. Still.
So, yep.
Hey, I don't remember this part in Star Wars, in Episode 4 where Is this the special edition where the Death Star actually kills everybody?
Took a lot of inspiration from Majora's Mask.
Yeah.
Oh God, this game did it first.
No, don't imagine Darth Vader. Ah, joke's on you. I actually wanted you to blow up this Death Star. It's actually a meteor. It's gonna kill everybody.
Yeah, only he thought that far ahead. And that gives us to the Sonic and Knuckles half.
Yep, which we will tackle next session.
Yep.
Let's come back next time when we do Mario Brothers zone.
Oh God damn it!
See you
Not
next
again.
time.